Class 8, welcome to your English language class. We will begin with chapter 19, conditionals today. I urge you to keep your books open at page number 171 as I explain to you what conditionals are and their function in the English language. So what is a conditional, children? Sentences that inform us about a condition affecting an action are known as conditionals. Conditional sentences, remember, always imply a condition that affects an action. These conditions are usually expressed by the use of the words if or when. Sometimes these sentences also begin with had. The conditional sentences are complex sentences made up of two clauses. Remember, children, we have already learned what clauses are. We have also learned that a sentence may have two main clauses, or a sentence may have one main clause and more than one subordinate or dependent clauses. Such kind of sentences are complex sentences. Sentences which you have identified as adverb clause, noun clause or adjective clause. Those are all complex sentences. Complex sentences will have the subordinate conjunctions used in them, and these subordinate conjunctions usually relate the dependent clause to the main clause. This is something that is already known to you, children. Now what you need to know is that a conditional sentence is that sentence which implies or talks about a condition that affects an action. Such kind of sentences will have one main clause and another dependent clause. Let's now take a look at the basic structure of conditional sentences. If or when plus condition plus result. This is how the conditional sentences are usually structured. Example, if he asks, I will certainly help you. Here, if you identify the clauses, you find that the if clause is the subordinate clause that begins with the subordinate conjunction if, and the next clause is the main clause. I will certainly help you is the main or the independent clause. Therefore, the dependent clause depends on the main clause for the completion of its meaning. Now this sentence refers to a real condition. In this sentence there are two clauses. The if clause is the dependent clause, is the condition that affects the action. In the second clause, that is the independent clause. The if clause gives us the background to the speaker's action. See how. If he asks, I will certainly help you. The second clause here is the independent clause, and you can see that is very well affected by the subordinate clause. If he asks, only then I shall take up an action. And what is that? I will certainly help him. This is how the condition affects the result, okay, or the action. Now, another way that the conditional sentence can be framed is, first we mention the result. We use if or when in the middle of the sentence, and then we talk about the condition which will obviously be connected to the if sentence. Now in the first sentence where we begin with the if clause or the when clause, always remember we use a comma after the first clause, that is a subordinate clause, and then we write the main clause. Now when we begin with the result itself, that is when we use if or when in the middle of the sentence, there is no need of using the comma. Please keep this in your mind. Now example, I would be very happy if I had a pet. I would be very happy is the main clause. If I had a pet is the subordinate clause, that depends on the main clause for the completion of its meaning. I hope it's clear till here, children. This sentence refers to an unreal hypothetical condition. Here the speaker's having a pet is uncertain, and thus the result of the condition is equally uncertain. Now coming to real and unreal, the first sentence you see implies a real condition. If he asks, I will certainly help him. This is something, this is some action or some consequence or expression that we draw from a certain circumstance or situation. I know I am at a situation when there is somebody who I expect should take help from me, and I'm waiting. If that person asks me, I shall really help him. So this is a real condition which is implied by this sentence. But this sentence, I would be very happy if I had a pet. Children, understand, this is an imaginary sentence. If I had a pet, I'm talking about some wish, or I'm talking about something which if happened, it has not happened yet, there are no circumstances which imply that it might happen also. I'm just expressing a wish or something imaginary at the moment. Hence these kind of sentences are unreal and hypothetical in condition. The condition implied is unreal or hypothetical. Here the speaker's having a pet is uncertain. We do not know whether the speaker will ever have a pet or not, and thus the result of the condition is also uncertain. If I had a pet, only then the result would take place, the other action would take place. So both these clauses here imply uncertainty, and hence they are unreal or hypothetical. I hope you have understood till here. Now, types of conditional clauses. There are two main types of conditional sentences: real conditionals and under the real conditionals, again there are three different kinds. They are present real conditional, then we have got in the next page past real conditional, and we have future real conditional. So these are the three types we have. We will first understand what these are. Now, real conditionals. Real conditionals are of three kinds. They are present real conditional. Present real conditionals are used to indicate general and scientific facts. They refer to something which is always true. That is, the condition will not only lead to a specific result. Therefore, we understand that present real conditionals talk about general facts, general ideas, or scientific facts which in reality occur, okay, which in reality take place. They refer to something which is always true, just like general facts or universal truths that we come across when we practice narration. This is just the same. The present real conditionals are used for scientific facts which are never going to change their results. That is, the condition will only lead to a specific result. So these kind of sentences lead to only specific results. There is no change of results. Let's see an example. Examples. When he motivates me, I always do my best. This is a general statement made by a person who says that when somebody motivates him, some person in specific, he says, when he motivates me, I always do my best. So this is a general fact or a general statement made by the person, and he has observed that whenever there is motivation coming from this person, some person in specific he's talking about, he always does his best. So there is no change in the result. The result remains the same. Number 2, whatever evaporates if you boil it for some time. So water evaporates if you boil it for some time is a scientific fact, right children? Therefore, these kind of results expressed by these facts or statements do not change. Hence, they are real conditionals. Okay, the above sentences are written as if or when plus simple present plus simple present, simple present, if or when plus simple present. This is the structure of the sentence, which is extremely important, children, I tell you. For conditionals, you have to know the structures very well. It is usually the structures where we tend to make mistakes. Hence, you are to be very, very careful about these structures. If the sentence implies a real conditional, say two sentences are given and you are asked to join the two sentences with an if or a when. If the sentence imply real conditionals, then you are to use this particular structure. If or when plus simple present plus simple present. When he motivates me, because this happens always, isn't it? Therefore, simple present. I always do my best. The result is also always the same. Hence, simple present. Or if you begin with the result first, then if, first simple present, then if or when, then simple present again. Okay, past real conditional. Past real conditionals indicate actions that were sometimes done in the past. So past real conditionals talk about actions that were done in the past. Example, when someone asks for help, I try to lend a hand. So when someone asked for help, I am talking about some action, some circumstance or experience in the past. I tried to lend a hand. This is something which I practiced in the past. Ria and Rima used to eat out if they were able to finish their work on time. Again, something that Ria and Rima used to do in the past. So these are past real conditionals. Not always, but only when they finish their work on time. So this is something, the result of the action happened only when something happened or if something happened in the past. So the sentence should be written in what structure? If or when plus simple past plus simple past. Okay, if I knew your address, I would write to you. See, if I knew your address. Okay, this again refers to past knew. I would write to you. Would write again is simple past. Next sentence also simple past plus if or when plus simple past. The Ria and Rima sentence. This has also got the similar kind of a structure because it talks about some past real condition. Now future real conditional. Future real conditionals refer to possible actions, predictions, plans and intentions. Such sentences refer to actions that are most likely to happen in the future. So future real conditionals will indicate some possibility of an action, prediction. Okay, when we make a prediction of an action, some plan being made about some future action, something that we intend to do in future. Such sentences refer to actions that are most likely to happen in the future. Hence, as you can understand, possible action, that means it has not yet happened, it might happen in the future. Prediction is obviously something that implies future. Some plan about the future, some intention about the future again. So these all come under future real conditionals. Examples, if he asks me, I will help him. This implies intention. If he asks me, I will help him. I am going to help him if he asks me. These above sentences are written in the structure as an if or when plus simple present plus simple future. Simple future, if or when, simple present. If or when, present continuous, simple present. These are the few structures that we follow. Present continuous, I will tell you, is hardly followed. It is usually the three structures that are followed for conditionals: if plus simple present plus will, if plus simple past plus simple past, if plus past perfect plus would have or should have or could have or might have. We will come to that, the last one that is said later. We'll discuss that in details later. Let's take these examples given here, children. She meets Rahim when he comes here. So she meets simple present, when he comes here simple present. Both are expressed in the simple present. In real conditional structures, both if and when can be used to introduce the conditional clause. If is used to introduce the conditional clause for infrequent actions, and when is used for frequent and more regular actions. So for the first that we did, real conditionals may begin with if or with when also. We begin real conditionals with if when we talk about actions happening not very frequently, but when we talk about frequent actions or regular actions, we use we begin with when. Okay, I hope this was clear to you till here, children. Please listen to this explanation, and the next day when we meet in the interactive class, please be ready. Oh, this week we are not going, you're going to have your assignment. Next week you will please tell me all your doubts so that I can clarify all doubts that you have in this chapter. This chapter is extremely important, children, because conditionals are very important for the board exams as well. So you have started this year, and you will continue practicing conditionals till class 10, till your board exams. Hence take this chapter very seriously and try to practice a lot of these sentences from any other reference book that you have apart from your textbook. Thank you children. Have a nice day. Bye bye everyone.